Now, these are the generator trackers that I'm going to be using for her, for the other follow-ups, for workflow, for even the dashboard. And these are the generator trackers that I'm going to be using for her. Oh, thank you for listening.
Awesome. Please, can you give her a round of applause? Okay. So first of all, Deborah, you are off my time. You spent 3 minutes extra. So
I'm sorry, ma.
on
I'm
time
sorry.
management, you were off.
I'm sorry, ma. Next time I'll be on time.
Okay. But that was a good one, and this is one that you shouldn't just add. You should have a conversation with Sarah Sweet, and I want to know how that conversation goes. So you should go speak to Sarah Sweet and present some of these recommendations to her. So great job. And I like the fact that you also included the generated tracker, because that way she can build a system around our business and it can help it become more repeatable and predictable. Then just a quick analysis. So your executive summary was good. I won't say was you didn't even tell us what your name is, anyways. But your executive summary was good. You talked about the background and you gave us a very apt business description and even started the business problem analysis. So you were able to develop that structure. You know the business, you can see the dependencies. Motto was customer communication, order management, social media, and operations as the primary constraints to growth. So I'm very sure that by the time you're sitting down with Sarah, you're telling her these other things I've noticed based on the analysis that I've done with your business, she would succumb or she would agree to the fact that this might be true. Remember, I'm using the word might. So rather than stopping at identifying our problems, you even went forward to building an implementation structure that covers the CRM, how she can manage a order from social media intake to delivery, and the dashboards, the SOPs and workflows that was absolutely great. So this actually even showed to me that you should go get your PMP. So if there's something I want you to start working on, Deborah, please start working on you getting a project management professional certification. And I'm very serious about that. So this shows to me that you can be able to work someone from project initiation to project delivery because you have a very strong operational thinking mindset and you understand how systems can work. So please look into that. And strengths, yeah. So for strengths, excellent business understanding. Definitely, you clearly understood the business model. It's a small business, so you understand it. You understand what the founder responsibilities included. You even understood the customer journey. I'm very sure you've bought many sweets and cakes and cupcakes from her. So you understand the customer journey very well, and you also understood our operational bottleneck absolutely great. So you demonstrated that you not only researched the business, you watched the business. You paid attention to the business. And this is just beyond, reading the website. I'm very sure that you are an active participant in the business. You also have a very strong diagnostic and system thinking, which I think you need. I believe, and I want you to work on it. I want you to expand on it. You are able to identify multiple operational issues, So your systemic mindset is sharp. And that is something I want you to really invest in, which is why I say go get the PMB. But we can always have more conversation on that. If you maybe you want to even look into the technical side of things, like Scrum and the rest of things, or Agile, project management, project management. Agile is a type of project management. I can't even remember what it's called. But because you are able to Identify how delayed responses affect the business, how missed follow-up could impact the business, how inconsistent communication could slow down orders and the rest of things. You even mentioned overwhelmed staff. That is a whole business analysis. That's a whole money making machine for you. If you can apply this not only to Sarah, but even to many multiple businesses. So, and what I liked more is not just you talking more about it, it's also you explaining why these issues can occur. So you talking to the business owner and telling her these are the things that I've noticed in your businesses would really give them that, allows them to listen because they also know what they're facing in the business. You also had a very good discovery questions, which is why I didn't want to interrupt you even when you got to the time of your question, your answers, and you centralized it. You centralized it. Those inquiry questions. I have your slides open, so I'm looking into the way they were very critical and integral to your research, and that's the strongest part of your presentation. So instead of you just assuming solutions, you consistently asked questions, diagnostic questions, probing questions. What does this founder want? What's their goal? What's the objective? How is the business currently operating? Which metrics would actually matter in scaling the business? So that was an ask. That was a great one. And I think at this point you need to develop yourself into a true consultant. And we have a lot of conversation to talk about, Deborah. We have a lot to talk about. Then another thing, you have a lot of strengths. My book is full too. The other thing is you had practical work plans. Practical work plans, your discovery questions again, perfect. Your implementation strengths, implementation steps were strong, and even the workflow. In fact, I should have just allowed you to even go last so that people don't gonna start changing their work. But this actually shows operational maturity, and I love it. Then your business value orientation, mm, great job. Great job with that. When you were talking about how you can help them reduce orders, missed orders, how you can help them improve customer experience. In fact, right now I'm thinking about one client that came to me, and I know I cannot even work with them because I any else, but I I think I want to connect with them. I think that's what I'm thinking about now. I think I want to go because this is a very good analysis for small businesses, especially local businesses, and we can talk. Let's work on turning this to a business. I think that's what I want to say. Let's work on turning this to a business because I think you have a very strong systemic thinking approach to things. And now your recommendations towards how you can put in together the implementation plan for the CRM, the shared inbox. Oh my God, that shared inbox, a lot of businesses do not. Oh, hey, please just give Deborah a round of applause again, please. Please give her a round of applause. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing the round of applause. People should overwhelm her with round of applause at this time.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you
Yeah, no,
so
because
much.
this is, I know you were nervous at first, but I'm glad that you see that you overcame your nerves. You overcame it. You were nervous at first, but as you kept going, you were speaking out of expertise, and that is great. Start scared. Whatever you're doing, start scared. Start scared, but start. The systemic approach was apt, like the way you structured it. In fact, it was, I know we've talked about this. I know we talked about all this in VSA, but you being able to, find businesses that this can be practicalized is moving from theory to practical, and that is absolutely what we're looking at. That is why we are doing this capstone. Then areas of improvement, yes, I'm not saying there's no areas of improvement. Once again, time management. If you are given 2 minutes, stick to 2 minutes. So try to structure things within that time. If you're given 10 minutes, 10 minutes, then you have too much details. There are some things that could be summarized, targeted, but you have to, like, for instance, your discovery questions, you could have 100, you could have 10, but in your conversations, you can just let us, these are some of the discovery questions that we have. Pick out two You have six, right? Pick out two that is very paramount and talk about the two, then move. You're like, oh, there are other discovery questions, but because of this presentation, I would only like to emphasize on two. Then you move. We can see that. Then prioritization, the same thing with Rosemary too. Prioritization, which is why I asked the questions like, okay, if you are only going to implement one, which is it going to be? Rosemary still gave me two, but it is well. So the same thing to you too. If you are going, everything cannot be equally important because you have that showcased in here that everything was looking equally important. As a consultant, I know you have not gotten into that, but thinking maturely, you need to start thinking like if Sarah can only implement one for this month, well, because there have to be a starting point. You have to think about what's going to be the starting point. Where is the starting point going to be for? Then financial impact. While you did explain, the business impact, you could also emphasize on the financial impact because as small businesses, they would really want to focus more on not just the overall business impact, but more on the financial constraint or the financial strength of what you're talking about. And there was also something I wrote down in my book is with everything you've said, this is absolutely great. This is something that can be implemented right now, but is this business really mature or is this business really ready for such a transformation journey that you want to take them for? Because you can go tell Sarah, I did a very thorough analysis and I'd like to walk you through what my analysis is based on your business that can help your business grow and give you some recommendation. My concern is would Sarah Swift be ready for this kind of transformation? Because that is exactly why when you're doing some business analysis, you need to know what's the end goal. You have to have the end goal in your mind so that you don't overshoot beyond their business brackets. So that's another thing that I think you could work on. Then yeah, you're never say you're shy again. If the day you tell me you're shy again, I'll just put you out of the call. Never say you're shy because this is part of things that build up not only your confidence. I know you're just trying to put yourself out there, but never really say you're shy, like, oh, and stop apologizing. You did an absolutely great job. So please, confidence is part of executive communication. It's part of communication. It's part of the way you people impression, people will perceive you. So now you trying to say that you're shy, people will be like, okay, I mean, it might make them lose interest. Even if you're shy, do it scared, do it shy, do it every way, but never tell people that you're actually shy. So that's what I'm going to say, but you see, if I'm going to ask you one question, it's going to be the same question I asked Sarah, is that out of all these recommendations, out of all these recommendations we have, which is going to be the biggest one that you would recommend for Sarah to implement within the next 30 days? And I will also open up the room for questions. For anyone who have questions, feel free to raise your hands. So, Deborah, you'll answer your question.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much for all of the feedback. I'm very very grateful, ma. Okay, so to answer your question, ma, if I'm going to recommend one, because Sarah does a lot of things. She does a lot of things, and she's my pastor's wife. She still needs time for herself, time for her children, and time for the church. So if I'm going to recommend one thing that can help her business and still give her time, I would recommend she starting with this scheduling social post so that that can at least ease up some time for her to have time for her family. I know her kids too. Time for her family and time for the church. If she can schedule social posts, maybe make bulk videos and then schedule when to post them and on what platforms she wants to post them. Yeah,
Okay, I think you answered the
that
question
would
already.
that
So
would really really
don't
work
say
for her.
story again. You answered the question. You should schedule social posts. Full stop. Does anyone have any other question before I ask if Barista has any question? I'm not seeing any hand up. Nobody has question. Nobody has commendation. Nobody has anything to say to Deborah. Does anyone have anything to say to her?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Good evening, Deborah. That was a wonderful presentation and well detailed. And even someone at a glance, someone that maybe doesn't know about the business before, we really have an understanding of what the business is all about and what it entails and the bottleneck that the business is facing. So I would say that you did a very great job. Well done, Deborah.
Thank
Does
you.
anyone have anything that she could improve on? Because Justina, I did not take Justina. Justina
Okay,
and
okay.
Deborah, they
I
are
would say that
biased.
no, 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 I'm not biased. Okay, what I would say she should also improve on is I think the slides were too busy. I don't know if I can use that word.
Yeah,
It needs for a next time. I will advise you make it simpler so that when someone is reading whatever you're writing, there is very clear and understandable at a glance because it's a presentation you're making.
yeah,
Okay, thank you,
absolutely.
Justina. Noted.
Absolutely. Any other person? Okay, no one. What just said is absolutely, I forgot to mention that absolutely your slides were too busy, your slides were very amateur. But that's fine. I'm not using that to judge you guys, which is why I didn't talk about that. But it's things that you could definitely improve on. Being minimalist with color conflicts, there was a color conflict here. So, but be minimal with your slides. But let's leave that. Let's leave artistics for now and look in more into as you grow, you improve. Okay.
Thank you
Barista,
so
do you
much,
have
Ma.
anything to say? Yeah. Barista, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, well, there's nothing I'm going to say now that you've not said, and another person, the other person that spoke, I've not spoken about. So basically, what I have was actually commendation. I actually commend a thorough diagnosis because what she did was diagnostic for me. It just brings out the importance of the fact that for you must understand the business and because for her, I feel it's a business she has interacted with and she understood some of the challenges, and that's why she's able to come up with some of the solutions she presented to us here. So, and that brings the point of thoroughly understanding the business, and when you're able to do so, then your diagnosis will be apt, and you have a great solution on hand for the business. So the question for me will now be, and that's what you've asked her, is how would she approach the business or the business owner now to see how implementation can follow suit? Because it's not just about diagnosing some of the points of issues in a business. The most important part of some of the things you will be doing is also profiling the solution, not just profiling solution on paper, but actual implementation, which I think is the end product of what you're doing. So on the general note, what you did was commendable. So great job, kudos.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Awesome. Please, can everybody give the right round of applause again? Thank you. Okay. And next on the line, I have, where is my agenda? Who is next? Because I can't find my agenda. Matthew. Okay. Awesome.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Good
My name
evening.
is Matthew Paul. I don't know if you can see my screen, kind of loading. Please, can we all see my screen?
Yeah, we can. I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. All right, my name is Matthew Paul to be arrangement. Okay, I'll be presenting on the founder capacity blueprint for royalty collections. It's using the 90-day growth operation strategy for this online brand. Okay, so the executive summary, Royalty Collections is an online fashion retail brand that offers quality fashion products to customers primarily through social media and other messaging platforms. While the business has built an online presence and attracts customer inquiries, it operates its operations remain largely manual. Yeah. The objective of this project now is to design a scalable growth operations blueprint that will enhance founder productivity, streamline operational workflow, and position royalty collections for sustainable business growth. The core focus is to one, diagnose operational bottlenecks, to build scalable business systems, introduce automation, improve customer experience, and increase founder capacity. Uh, I, as a VSA, my roles or my strategic role for Royal Scotland is to operate as a growth operations to improve operational efficiency through structured system and support data-driven decision making using CRM and performance reporting. And my implementation timeline will be the 90 days execution strategy. So the current operational challenges that royalty collection is facing for the founder is the first one is founder capacity constraints. Now, the founder spends excessive time managing routine operational tasks. Yeah, he's not able to focus on running only the business, but he's focusing on other tasks, which he can easily assign to others, or he would have looked for someone that can actually assist him in achieving those other tasks. Then he has limited time available for strategic planning, business development. Yeah. So process inefficiency. The customer records are managed manually. Yeah. Then no centralized CRM. Follow-ups are inconsistent. Reporting is largely undocumented. Then for the growth limitations, the business operations rely heavily on founder. Then it lacks the documented standard operation procedures and existing workflows are difficult to scale. So the impact on the business for these operational challenges is that one is lower customer response times, yeah. It missed opportunities for sales, reduced productivity, and then limited business scalability. Sorry. All right. So who actually is the VSA, which is me? Now, a VSA is more than um, having the administrative role that to having is more than having administrative role to having growth support operation. Now, before the traditional VSA, they respond to messages, schedule meetings, keep records, perform tasks, support daily work. But as a growth operational VSA that I am, I manage customer lifestyle. I optimize founder productivity and processes and drive business growth. So the strategic responsibility of the VSA is one, customer relationship management, revenue operations, KPI reporting, workflow optimization, documentation, and process automation. So for the founder discovery, the vision of royalty collection is digitally operated and it sells trending clothes and fashion accessories to customers around Nigeria. So this business now relies heavily on online platforms such as WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and the like for its marketing and customer engagement as well. Now, in its business model allows customers to browse products online, make inquiries, place orders, and all. Then the vision of this um, brand is to become one of Nigeria's most trusted online fashion brands for delivering premium fashion products and just and exceptional customer experiences. Now, his mission is to provide affordable, stylish, and quality fashion products while creating seamless online shopping experience through excellent customer service and operational efficiency. Now, the products and services that Royalty Collection give is that Royalty Collection offers, sorry, is male and female fashion wears, jewelry and fashion accessories, seasonal collections, customized fashion orders, nationwide delivery. Now, the ICP, which is the ideal customer profile for this business, is the young professionals, university students, entrepreneurs, fashion-oriented, fashion-conscious individuals, and working class adults. And then the demographics is from the ages of 18 to 40, the unisex for the gender. Location is major cities in Nigeria. So the revenue model for royalty collections, royalty collections generates revenue through direct online sales, repeat customer purchases, seasonal promotional campaigns, referral sales, bulk and customized orders. So the current business challenge of royalty collections, which I've mentioned earlier, sorry, yeah, yeah, these are the business challenges that royalty collections actually face. So, God. Okay, so the 90 days growth roadmap that royalty collections use is divided into three phases, which is the phase one being the audit and build foundation, where the business diagnosis take place, workflow mapping is done, customer journey assessments are being carried out, CRM setup is done, and SOP documentation is done. Then secondly, the phase two, which is the 31 to 60, the, which is the optimization and automation stage. There is implementation of CRM processes, which has been done in the um, first phase, automates customer follow-ups, introduce reporting dashboards, improve sales workflow, and standardize operations. The third phase, which is 61 to the 90th day, is to scale and measure. Now, in this phase, they evaluate KPIs, improve operational performance, redefine automation, strategic customer retention, and transition to sustainable systems. Now, the standard revenue operations systems, I kind of missed that while preparing the slide that was used for um, royalty collection is proposed thus: leads generation, then that is through using of social media ads, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and the rest. Then to leads qualification, which is what customer needs assessment, the budget confirmation, product recommendation, then CRM management, which is the next one, which um which entails customer information, purchase history, follow-up schedule. Then the next is sales process, which is product recommendation, payment confirmation, order processing. Then order fulfillment, which is packaging, dispatch, delivery, tracking. After sales support that is being rendered, which is customer feedback, complaint resolution, review request, repeat purchase offer. Then the last one is weekly reporting, which are sales, leads, conversion, and revenue. Now, the impact of these 90 days, 90-day process and this revenue operations system, the impact on royalty collection is one, operational excellence. That is 60 to 70% reduction in repetitive administrative tasks that have been channeled towards the founder, faster customer response time, yeah, then improve CRM management. Then for business growth, it brings about higher sales conversion rates, improved customer retention, increased founder productivity, better revenue visibility, then long-term sustainability, which standardized operating procedures, scalable operational systems, data-driven decision making, and then stronger customer experience. So my recommendation for royalty collection is one, to adopt a CRM system for customer management. So to make repetitive administrative tasks, document all key business processes, review KPIs weekly, and adjust strategies accordingly. So invest in staff training on digital tools and customer service. To build customer loyalty programs to encourage repeat purchases. Then to maintain a consistent social media content strategy. Then periodically evaluate workflows to identify further efficiency improvements. So in conclusion, the founder of Realty Collection, so this founder capacity blueprint demonstrates how a virtual sales associate can transform Realty Collections from a founder-dependent business into a systems-driven enterprise. By implementing structured workflows, leveraging AI-powered automation, documenting standard operating procedures, and monitoring key performance indicators, the founder can focus on strategic growth while daily operations run more efficiently. The proposed 90-day roadmap provides a realistic framework for improving customer experience, increasing operational capacity, and positioning royalty collections for sustainable growth in Nigeria's competitive online fashion industry. Thank you.
Hmm. Awesome. Thank you very much, Matthew, for that wonderful. What did you use to create your slides? Like, is it PPT or Google Slides? Yeah, it's PowerPoint. I didn't know use slideshow. It was the notes and comments were confusing. So,
Microsoft PowerPoint, yes, ma'am.
oh my, yeah, because I think it's Microsoft PowerPoint, but you could have just used a slideshow. It was almost
Um,
showing to me as
sorry.
it was okay. Okay. So I'll say okay, I'll put down stuff from before I go into my scoring evaluations rubric. Does anyone have questions for
Yes,
Matthew?
I'm displaying it from.
It's okay, Matthew. Does anyone have question for Matthew? Okay, no one. That's okay. So, Matthew, I think you did a good job, and please give Matthew a round of applause. The team should give Matthew a round of applause. So, you worked on good. You worked on royalty collection. Is that your personal brand or it's a business that you studied?
It's my personal brand, ma'am.
I know. I noticed. Because it shows some biases, some internal biases with your personal, because at the end of the day, you did your research like you try to separate yourself from the research. You try to separate yourself from the brand, and it was obvious in your presentation, which is why I knew that this is your brand. This is your personal brand. Because you normally you're supposed to walk us through the story. Tell us the story of the brand. Tell us who the brand, who the business is. You skipped it because you know it's a personal brand. So your subconscious assumed that, oh, I know the business, but we don't know the business. So that is why I knew that this has to do, this is more either it's your brand or it's stimulated. That's was my conclusion. But away from that, your presentation was clean, yes. It was professionally organized, but you ended up including two sections that shouldn't be there, which is number one is moving from traditional VSA to growth operations, and number two is strategic responsibilities of a VSA. We don't need that slide, and the reason you don't need that slide is because we're not asking you to tell us what a VSA is. We're not asking you to present to us the work of a VSA. You are already operating as a growth professional and you are diagnosing a business. So you're supposed to be talking to the business owner. These are the results of my business analysis. These are what I found out, and these are my recommendations. So which because it's your personal brand, it made it more difficult. You cannot see the problems in your own business by yourself. You cannot. The same thing. If I do pervert business analysis, I will be subconsciously biased because I'm going to tell myself a number of one reasons why I couldn't do this now, even though I know what I'm supposed to do. So that is one thing I was going to say. But now away from that, I'm just going to critically analyze this the way it should be. First of all, your executive summary, like I mentioned, could be worked on, but you did something absolutely. You focused on the social media and messaging platform. You're also able to identify some operational constraints like the founder dependencies, your manual customer managements, inconsistent follow-up. Definitely, you don't have a CRM. You mentioned that, and so many undocumented processes, which absolutely it's a warning sign of founder dependencies. So, which means that multiple or royalty collection should figure out how to solve that issue. So your recommendation is also very focused, and I like that. And your roadmap to scalability is also good. So in regards to the strength, uh, sorry about that. I love the business analysis, the business challenges that I like the way it was well structured into four. Is it four, three? In four brackets. And the business impact, which was more towards the negativity that is still up in the business. I felt like that could have been a light red instead of orange because most of it is not ambient. Ambient is neutral. Like when you use orange, it's like it's neutral, is good, is not good, is not bad. But most of the things that you were talking about were definitely something that should be improved on. So you could have actually used like the red to show the warning sign. So that's artistic, but I do like the structure of how you talked about the business, the processing inefficiencies, the growth constraint, then how that's actually impacting the business. Absolutely, that's a thumbs up. In fact, everyone should give you a round of applause for that. Then, where's my round of applause now? When I say give someone a round of applause, please give them a round of applause. It shows that you're listening because all of your cameras are off. Then, your recommendations are also very good. I really believe that this is more of an executive level presentation. However, you made the story so boring for us that I was like, please, can you make this story sweet? You know, that kind of stuff. But that's fine. It's not every business that is going to be very interesting. Some businesses that are naturally, the way they go, and it doesn't really matter. For instance, if you are listening to energy and or oil and gas presentations, it's really boring to me. So that's the way it is. But the ways that you can actually your storytelling techniques should be interesting. I think that's where I'm coming from. You were nervous. It's okay. It's okay. Nobody knows your business better than you. So you should actually tell us some of like customer journey that actually shows why some of these are a miss uh when it could be a eat, something like that. Then you do have a very strong understanding of founder dependencies. I really like that. I like the fact that everyone that I've presented so far, from Rosemary to Debbie to you actually show that founder dependent. In fact, if there's anything I'm glad that the baking lessons and the baking classes I've done for you guys is not in vain, because you're actually showing to me that you know what has been you've learned in the past 6 weeks. And so you did show that level of understanding when you're talking about your final dependencies. You were able to show exactly how you spend excessive time on routines, operational tasks that could actually be delegated if you want to grow, if you want to scale your business. And just like what I told Debbie, sometimes you went overboard because this is a small business. There's so much little that you can do in a small business. If I ask you now, what's your budget? You probably don't even have the budget really structured out. And if you don't have a budget structured out, you don't even know what your profit is coming in, what the income is coming in, to say that, oh, this can be invested into the business. And that is what a lot of Nigerian businesses actually lack, which you can feel with the knowledge that you're gaining so far. So you correctly identify all those inefficiencies, from the manual customer management, those other management processes, to you actually owning the entire operations, to the no CRM, no documented. That word, undocumented processes, is the biggest thing that I believe you can solve with the knowledge that you've acquired in the past 6 weeks. Another strength of yours would be more towards your growth operations position, even though I felt like they ended up start teaching us what VSA should be and what VSA responsibilities are, which I'm like, yes, this guy knows it. But at the same time, is it meant for this presentation? Maybe not, but it actually still shows to me how, if a founder asks you that, oh, I could just get a VA, like a virtual assistant, to do that, you can actually show them that this is different. So the way you frame it should be different, even if it's going to be in the slide. You should frame it more towards, handling of objections, not necessarily something that should be in your slide. So for instance, if the founder is like, oh, I can just get a virtual assistant or the executive assistant to do this for you, you're now telling them that this is way more than calendar management, it's way more than tax management, it's really more about revenue development in your business, which a VA will not do for you. So that was a very good one. Growth operations VSA. Absolutely love it. And I think you do understand your role. So I like that. Then the methodology, I like the fact that every of you are beginning to develop that methodology frameworks of implementation strategies. So that was a very good one for you. And the way you structured it into phases is great. Even I'm going to ask you the same question, just like I'm asking. That's the only question I'm going to ask everyone today. But I like the fact that it was very structured. The framework was structured. It was in phases also, the 30, 60, 90 days. And it really made sense. The sequence just made sense of what you actually even add. And there was something that you did include. Where is your slide again? Yeah, you called phase one audit and build. I love that language. I love the language. Phase two was to optimize and to automate. Then phase three is to scale and to measure. And I'll say, please whatever you can do to implement this in your own business. Because I absolutely believe that there is, so you see that workflows mapping is a great one. Sit down and map your own workflow. Implement all this that you're learning in your own business for those of you that have businesses, because it's going to help scale your own personal business and you can then replicate it in other person's businesses. So I really love that. And scale and measure, absolutely love that. Then business impact orientation. I love the fact that you're able to connect, just like I said again, you're able to connect all this from the negative impact to if these recommendations are implemented, and this is going to be the positive impact on the business, like business outcomes. So that was a very good one. Areas of improvement. Again, I've said this, it was very generic because it's your own, so you're biased. You couldn't really talk more about, the true founder story, the true founder background, the true customer journey, because it's your business. So that is one thing. And then your discovery process was not, or you didn't talk about your discovery process, just like the question that when you asked Rosemary is more about your business analysis, the lead research process. How did you actually quantify the leads that's supposed to actually be, I think Onye would really like lead research, so she's a lead research expert at this point. But just for you, your discovery process also, you didn't really demonstrate enough of the discovery thinking approach or methodology that you applied to that. So for instance, like which of the social platform actually generated the highest conversion rate? Which, or what happens after payment? What happens if purchases are abandoned? For instance, if you're using WhatsApp for your order management, do you actually label it? Do you even know how to go back to track those who have asked, who've inquired about the businesses and the rest of things? So consulting always begins with, let me have this message. Consulting always begin with discovery before recommendation. And that's one of the things. Let me see. Then the other one was you were a little bit just generic, like you try to stay eye level, which is fine if you're talking with an expert. But if you're talking with someone who doesn't even know any of this sales methodology or this sales terminologies, then how exactly are you supposed to explain? Like for instance, adopt a CRM system for customer management. Yes, which CRM? What fields? Why do they need to? So you were not able to demonstrate that. The same thing what I told Debbie, there was no tie to financial impact. You will only focus more on operational improvement, which is okay, but you need to be able to articulate how it ties to like the financial side of things. Like for instance, higher conversion rates definitely increases your order intake, which in turn increases revenue, something like that. Mm, mm. Well, I'll say those are what I noted so far. So you also did a very good, you did a good job. You did a good job, and I see you more as a process designer. Like you're able to create a strong framework design, which I think it's good. It's a start. If you can think in frameworks, you can design frameworks. I see that you're good in that. But you just need, if you're going to move into being a very good consultant, you need to start sharpening your discovery process, methodology, and being able to give grounded recommendation, especially making it very specific based on your observation. Okay. Maybe it's specific to a business. So because you worked in a business, I understand why you have this gap. Please, can you give Matthew another round of applause? He did absolutely great. Awesome. Does anyone have any question for Matthew? And would you like to add something to that? Actually from the legal side of things, but Abayam, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, no. Like, you rightly summed it up. I think I love the simplicity of his presentation, and the question I would have asked was to know exactly what the business is. The Well, that was what you pointed out basically. So basically, like you said, he subconsciously worked on it being his business and not knowing that he's going to inform the audience about it. But on the brighter side of it is the fact that he did a very good job, and you summed it up already. So thank you,
Yeah.
Matthew.
Thank you, sir.
The Matthew too, you did not stay on time. Oh.
Hey, well, jeez. Okay, ma,
All of
noted,
it.
ma. We'll
You need to learn
work on it
time
next time.
management.
Yeah, and I didn't even finish everything. Yeah.
15:34. Yeah. You're supposed to stop. Yeah. You spent 3 minutes extra. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to check my messages. Okay, good job, Matthew. Good job. Thank you very much, Matthew. The next person should go.
Thank you.
I don't know why I can't find my agenda. Very strange. Please, the next person to go. Wait the next. Okay, let me see. I think that should be Messi. Can't imagine. Matthew even went earlier. Messi, you're the next on my list. From my list. Messi Shiro. I didn't even ask. Does anyone have any question for Matthew? Or anything to say, not just question-ish, not just question. Have anything to say to Matthew? No one? I can see chat though. Okay. Since Messi, are you available now?
Good evening, ma. Good afternoon, stroke evening. Yes, I am, but I cannot share my slides, my
Okay,
presentation.
I appreciate. Don't worry, I understand constraints sometimes. So let me open up Messi slides now. Let's see.
Thank you, ma. Um, let's see.
Messi Shield. Okay, we're gonna do a slideshow. And I'm gonna. Marty, what were you saying? You said I did not ask you. I'm asking now. That does anyone have anything to say? They do not want to talk. They don't want to commend you. Don't mind them. Hmm? Okay, Messi, I have your slides.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening,
Mhm.
my fellow students. Good evening, ma. Good evening, sir. My name is Mercy Shitu, and my capstone presentation is titled Improving Business Structure and Operation Efficiency at Hybrid Jones Limited. Please, can everybody hear me? My
Yeah.
network is a bit shaky. Okay. So I'll be talking about the business I'll be diagnosing today is Hybrid Homes Limited. Hybrid Homes Limited is a Nigerian real estate company, and it was founded by Prince Engineer Olawale Popola. It was established in 2019 and has branches in Lagos, in Lagos and in Ibadan, but its headquarters is in Lagos, Nigeria. So the goal of this company is to bridge the Nigeria's housing gap by providing affordable luxury properties, and delivering real estate solutions to businesses and to individuals. Some of the services they offer include property development, real estate investment, consultancy, property documentation, and amongst many others. So before I mention key challenges that this business face, I would like to talk about the ideal customer profile, that is who this business serves. So they mostly serve business owners, which fall within the category of middle to high income earners, corporate professionals, entrepreneurs, executives, and Nigerians that reside in Lagos, in Abuja, Enugu State, and also Nigerians that live in the diaspora. They target CEOs, managing directors, business owners, corporate investment managers, and so on. They target people that want to acquire properties, people that need office spaces, people that want to, maybe they want to enlarge their staff accommodation, and people that want to invest in real estate. So they look for people who research properties extensively, people who are interested in investing, and people who also value transparency, credibility before purchasing a property, and so on. So some of the lead sources where they get their leads from include they do physical marketing, they do community outreaches, they get referrals from existing clients, and they also do social media marketing, mostly on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay. Now, I'll talk about the challenges before I talk about the challenges I noticed, I would like to talk about their strengths as well. Some of their strengths include they have a strong brand identity. They have multiple office locations. So at least to cater for customers that don't reside in specific places, they have different locations where you can go to in case you have questions and inquiries. They have flexible payment plans, meaning you can either pay outrightly or you can pay in installments. And they also have diverse property portfolio, different properties, lands, houses, and etc. etc. So now, some of the challenges I identified mostly is their lack of structured sales and operational systems. And I found out about this because I applied to one of the branches as a virtual sales. They needed a virtual sales assistant, and I applied for the role. But when I through interviews and when I got there physically, when I started asking questions, what I was hearing was not what I was expecting to hear. I was expecting what I expected to hear from their sales team was not what I was expecting to hear. So I could put two and two together and figured out that okay, these people they don't really have a structure that they follow. They just get the customers, and then when they get the customers, they just manually do everything. There is no tracker, there is no like proper follow-up. There is no customer database, nothing at all. So that was what I noticed, and that was what even motivated me into using them as the business I would as the business I would diagnose. Okay. So some of the challenges I identified, the major one was the lack of structured sales and operational systems.
Let's see on mute. Your time is counting.
I'm sorry about the network. I'm so sorry. So lack of structured sales would lead to inconsistently tracking and follow-up. And then I also noticed their heavy dependence on manual processes. And then they don't also have they don't have where they store, they don't document enough, they don't document properly. And also their customer information, they don't have a place, like a folder where they just store everything. It's so scattered. So that's what I noticed. Okay. So I also noted a few areas that could use improvement and some areas where they were trying and some areas that was good. So for lead generation, I rated it fair because they try to post every day and they do outreaches from time to time, but then their post does not really have much engagement. And their CRM, their customer relationship management, also needs improvement because they need a proper tracker for these customers. Their sales process is fair, but I believe it can be better if it is well documented. Also, their reporting is good, but I believe they have key point indicators. They have a dashboard that has key point indicators, can make it also better. And then their customer follow-up also needs improvement with the help of automation using like some AI tools. Okay. So I came up with a strategy that can help them structure things properly. So
Now we lost her again. And now we just lost her finally. Nigerian network. Yeah, network is really terrible. Well, our time is counting. I am too. I am enjoying our network. In fact, I'm really thinking way beyond a presentation right now. Let's see. Where is she? Imagine she was doing this for international. Imagine she was presenting for international clients and the network now went off. May that not be our question in Jesus' name. It's been raining for 11 days. Wow. Because may God save Lagos. Ah, she should be back by now. Oh, I need her to come and complete this presentation. Okay, she sent a message. Oh no. Ah, let me see what she have left. One, two, part two. Part three. Hmm. This is good. Wow. I love what she did. I feel like I can complete it for herself. Did I complete that presentation for her? Okay. What are we going to do now? So we'll wait for when Messi returns, she will continue from where she stopped. Let's see who is next on my list to continue. Oh, she's here. She's back. She's back. She's back. She's back. She's in the waiting list. Waiting room. Let's be patient. Do we all agree that we should give Messi 5 more minutes to wrap up? Awesome.
hello, can you hear me?
Don't apologize. Just go straight to the presentation. We have 5 minutes to wrap up.
Okay. So I came up with a strategy map that can help them structure things properly. So where they like I said earlier, they get their leads from mostly WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, outreaches and referrals. So after getting these lead sources, the next thing they're supposed to do is capture these leads. Either they use like a Google form to get these leads, or then they just refer them to like DMs, WhatsApp business. Then they get after they get people that show interest, and then they start asking them, they get their names, their information. They create a tracker where they get their names, their information, where they got that lead from, maybe Instagram, Facebook, referrals, and then the property they showed interest in. And after they do that, they assign them to a particular sales representative in the team. And then they note the current stage where they're at. Maybe it's the beginning stage, maybe they've moved on. Like
Hmm. Now, so this your network. What can we do now? Okay, so I'm going to call me. We should be able to finish this. I'm making a call on. I think only Messi should pick this call and finish our presentation. Messi, can you hear me? Messi, can you finish the presentation on the call? Even the network is still rolling, even on the call. Uh, we may need to just finish up Messi's presentation after when she comes back, and because at this point I don't know what to say. But from what she has here, I think she has made a good job over here. But even if I'm going to give my own updates, I still need her to be able to listen. I know she's still on the call, but the network is really, really terrible. Okay. Because of our time, let me finish. But I'll say so far, even from what we can see here, so far, Messi has done a great job. Please, can you give her a round of applause? Don't worry, I'll finish it up for you, Messi. Please give her a round. Everyone should please give Messi a round of applause because she has done absolutely a great job here. The Rev Up strategy map, I like it because it's taking them from point A, which they probably doing very well with their lead sources. They have a very good marketing strategy that is pushing out content maybe on social media. Messi is more of she's a digital marketing. So you would have noticed in some of the way she's analyzing their lead sources, but she then's taking what she has learned from VSA to say that it's not just about what we're pushing out, it's not just about the content, there are much more that needs to be captured after that. We've made the impression, we've made the awareness, we've created the visibility. Now we need to convert that traffic to data that we can mine. So that is what Messi has been saying with this our strategy map, which I really love. So taking it from lead one to lead to capturing those data to now documenting those data so that it can be tracked and properly qualified. That's what we have in step 4. And then going to step 5. Step 5, this is where they are probably missing a lot of revenue. They have leakage. So it's obvious that they have leakage here. So we can see the follow-up and nurturing part of it is one of the things that they will need to work properly on. Then the property inspections, the proposal side of things, and lastly to the documentation. But I think Messi, this is too long. Then they come, okay, I understand. Then they come over to customer onboarding. Then after that, the after sales engagement, KPI reporting and review, and continuous improvement. We can tighten that up, but that's still a very good one. Then for the founder operating systems, this is our recommendation and cadence, which I also like. So these are some things that they should be doing daily, which most sales teams or their sales teams are neglecting. Then weekly, then monthly. I really love this art. I really love this. However, she's only giving them the one thing that is messy, you are giving them recommendation based on systems. So you are focused more on systems rather than outcomes. So like for instance, business lead tracking. Okay, this is outcome business lead tracking. So they should invest in the sales tracker like Google Sheets, or even if we have the Hotspot CRM, customer database, Hotspot, tax management. Hotspot can also do that, but she said flip flop. And Trello, process documentation, yes, Notion or Google Docs for SOPs, team communication, WhatsApp or Slack, then performance reporting. Awesome, great job. Then our 90 days implementation roadmap. The first 30 days should be implementing a CRM system for them that will organize their customer database and define their sales pipeline, which they need. Then the next 30 days, which is next 60 days, then they can work more on automation and do more of reporting while standardizing their SOPs. Then 61 days, then they can start reviewing for performance, reinvesting, redeveloping depending on the business needs, which will help with optimization and launching of referral campaigns. They'll be able to capture referral campaigns because they have a detailed CRM, a detailed data that has been captured. So and this was the business impact that she organized together, like expected results will be faster lead responses. So for instance, when they capture certain data, they can always give responses because they already have the information in the system. Improved lead tracking, better customer. I think the biggest thing is better customer experience and revenue development for this business. Please let's give Messi a round of applause again, please. Yeah. So, Messi, you did a great job. Does anyone have anything to say? Because I feel like the fact that I already finished this thing for you, but nevertheless, you have a very clear details and good job, which was very clear for us to even be able to follow through. So that was a good job, Messi. You should stay on this call. Messi, you can use the chat so that I can know that even if you cannot talk. Oh, you lost that. Nigeria Messi. And Nigeria not happened to us at this point. Awesome. Okay, so I'm thinking, should I do my analysis right now, or I should I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I feel bad for her that she's not here. Because right now I'm supposed to tell her her strengths and weaknesses, but she's not even here. But so far we can all come to realization that Messi did a great job. Actually, with our ICP development, I love that our ICP development. It's really showed how comprehensive Messi would be a very good salesperson. I think out of everyone that has been doing analysis so far, I've been seeing them more towards the operational side of things. But she looks like she's going to be very good with sales documentation itself. And I like that for her. I like that for her. And her digital marketing skills will also help her be able to translate marketing strategies to sales strategies. But she's not even here to listen to that. She's not here to listen to that. It's such a pity. But that's a very that's on the side. The other thing I think she did well was our business discovery was, even though it has a personal feel, so we are able to understand the story because she applied for the role. So she saw the virtual sales role, she applied for it, and now she was able to understand how the business operates. And I really would like to hear from her how's the process going, because this is like a direct application of what we've been learning. She can apply it for them, and even she can even go a step further. Like I said earlier, I was really thinking more about what are the things she can do, even if beyond what was even written there for this business. There's a lot she can do for them. There's a lot she can do for them. Then business diagnosis was in fact was on point. It was clear. Like you can see, our presentation was very clear. We understood, and the fact that she's also beginning to think in strategy, system thinking. I like that for her. I like that for her. Then I love our founder operating system. Oh my God. I'm proud of you all. In fact, do we still need to continue this defense? I should just give her both certificates. Kamalali. Okay. Where she could improve better. She's still not back. Oh my God. Well, the number one thing she should improve on is Nigeria. She should leave Nigeria. Nigeria network. Oh my God. So she had issues with a Nigerian network. I think that's everyone knows that what's going on. But away from that, I think she also struggled with confidently walking through our processes. She was able to document it. So she does well with written words, but she needs to learn more with communication, walking someone through a strategy. And we could also judge that or blame that on network because we never know. Then business, the qualification, she did talk about some of the operational improvement side of things, but she also didn't tie it to financial impact, like I've said to others. Then prioritization, maybe because we didn't get to hear from her. And I think Messi work is good. It's good enough. And it's good for this company. Now, I would like to talk to her more about it and see ways that probably put together a proposal and send it to this company. We need to find out who is the founder of this company. She knows the founder. She mentioned the founder's name, but we need to reach out to the founder and send the recommendations of what is going to help this business. And I need her to do that. So please, let's give Mercy a round of applause. She did absolutely, absolutely well, even though she had network issues. She did absolutely well. Absolutely well. Absolutely well. And she has a consultative mindset, so which I love. Okay. Who is the next person on our list? Adeola. Oh no, is that Diola? Yeah, okay, I already mentioned Diola. I think it's supposed to be someone else, but that's fine. Adiola, when you find it.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Sorry. Good day.
I knew it. I knew it. Don't do don't. I knew you were going to do this. Don't do, Jella, please. Jella, gotta sit there. You're going to do your own last. I knew you were going to do this. I knew you were going to do this. I knew you were going to do this. Don't let me say the spirit of God, but I knew you were going to do this. Please go on. May God forgive you. Please, Jella, you're going to come last. Can somebody else go?
Why?
Come on, show my face. Come on, you show. Okay, I'm on live TV. Let me calm down. Do you all know what Diola is about to do to me? Oh, do you all know what Diola is about? Do you all know what she's about to do? I love this. I love the initiative, even before you start. But please, Diola, can you come last?
I am actually running on generator, so that's
Ah, okay,
it.
I'll go. Yeah, go. No, don't worry. No, don't
Yeah, I
worry.
would have loved to, but I'm running on
As in
generator.
big setup, exactly. Diola is doing big setup for me. Okay, that's fine. Let's learn about this time around now. I will have to switch my mind because I need to Kai.
Hey, I'm really scared of what's going on. Did I do something bad or good? Because I need
Yeah, Jala,
to.
please go on. I couldn't get to your own slide because I knew that I was going to see Bavad group, but that's fine. Jala, please go on.
Okay, good day, everyone. I am Adiola Onifa, the founder of Support VSA, trained by Bavad. So for my capstone, I choose Bavad LLC, a management consulting firm focused on increasing founder capacity. So rather than looking at this business as a virtual assistant, I approach it as a founder support VSA. I studied the business, spoke directly with the founder, and reviewed the company's public positioning to understand how a founder support professionally could create operational value. So I'll be going into my slide right now. Yep. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, definitely we can see your screen.
Okay. So my diagnosis was that the business has a strong consulting methodology and marketing position. However, as founder-led business grew, operational has become more complex. Documentation, reporting, CRM, visibility, and operational coordination become increasingly important to prevent the founder from becoming the bottleneck. So I'll be doing a brief intro about what Bavad is all about. So Bavad Group LLC is a management consulting firm that partners with founder-led business to increase organization capacity through strategic business systems, operational excellence, governance, revenue operations, digital transformation, and leadership development. So I have my executive summary here. So in my executive summary, you could see that founder-led businesses are built on vision and expertise of their founder, which is what Bavad does. But as they grow, operational complexity increases faster than the system designed to manage it. So you'll be seeing me come in and also present founder discovery, capacity assessment, revenue operation system, founder operating system, process documentation. So I have my founder discovery here. Bavad Industry is a management consulting and founder capacity governance and revenue ops. Their headquarters is in US, which they also do with Africa, such as Lagos, Ibadan, and some other parts. So I have the founder here with me. And we have the business model, which is B2B consulting. I have their revenue streams, which is consulting, coaching, corporate training, VSAcademy, and transformation. I have their vision and mission with me here, which is help founder-led business build the operational system, governance, and organization discipline required for a sustainable growth. And I have their vision. Vision becomes the trusted partner that helps founder move from being indispensable operators to effective organization leaders. And from my founder insight with the founder, I have key insight that founder capacity means increasing organization capabilities, not simply cutting workloads. Founder support should create value beyond administrative assistance, business culture systems, governance, and operational discipline, not found the effort alone. Documentation and operation visibility are critical for sustainable growth. So I have my capacity assessments here, which is the current state at which I viewed Bavad as, and I have found out it's put into day-to-day coordination. Process exists but live in someone's head. Project status required manual follow-up. Client information is scattered. Action items are tracked informally. So the way forward will be systems manage recurring execution. SOPs make execution consistent. Dashboards give real-time visibility, sorry. CRM is the single source of truth, automated task tracking and accountability. I have priorities here, which is operational documentations, founder visibility dashboard, revenue operations, meeting and execution management, and I have an AI workflow and knowledge management. So I have my revenues workflow board here, which we go from first contact to client growth, every interaction visibility measurable and repeatable, laid as mirror style. So the thing is, let me calm down. So the thing is, for my revenue systems operational workload as a client, number one will be thought-led leadership and content. Then number two will be founder discovery conversation, lead qualification like ICP fit to check if the companies actually fit with what Bavad could actually run through. I have my CRM record created. Number five, discovery call, opportunity assessment, proposal engagement, client onboarding, founder support, delivery, weekly reporting and review, client retention. And I also have the CRM pipeline and revenue KPIs. So for the pipeline will build firstly for prospect identification. That is, you identify the prospect, then you do an initial outreach, discovery scheduled, discovery completed, then you move to opportunity qualified. That is, if the opportunity is qualified that Bavad could actually do. You will send proposal sent to check if the proposal has been sent. If the client is warned and wants to work with Bavad, active engagement, client expansion. And I also have the lead qualification, that question to ask if the company actually fits Bavad and Bavad could actually work with that company, which is founder-led, or is it founder-led or owner-managed, actively scaling or preparing to scale, operational challenge impacting execution, is the contact primary decision maker, does it need to align with Bavad expertise, ready to implement? And we have the revenue KPIs, which is new qualified leads, discovery to proposal conversion, proposal acceptance rate, onboarding completion rate, CRM data accuracy, client retention rate. So I have my founder operating system here with me, which asks to go from turning vision into daily cadence. The founder leads through structure, not constant personal intervention. So we have strategic vision, quarterly objective, monthly priorities. Then we move down to weekly operational planning, daily execution and coordination, reporting, reviewing and improvements, increase founders' capacity. So for my operating rhythm, so what we could do actually in Bavad every day to actually track our client is daily task and priority review. That is, we update this task board, follow up on pending action. Then for weekly operating meetings, we do operating meetings. For bi-weekly, we do client progress review. For monthly, we do business performance review. For quarterly, we do strategic planning sections. So what success is going to look like, and what success is going to look like, and what is going to look like if we follow these processes. That is the success indicator. We have our revenue, which is new leads, qualified opportunities, proposal conversation retention. We have operations. We also have founder capacity. We have client success. That is, for weekly reporting, if we have 100% weekly reports and greater than 90% meeting action item completion, we have greater than 95% CRM data accuracy. If we have 100% SOP data, SOP documentation, and greater than 95% client flow completion. If we have all these, then success will skyrocket for us. Then I have my process documentation. So for us to actually make this something that we could actually scale through and not in someone's head, we have the process documentation, which for SOP founder discovery meeting. We could see that from 1 to 8, we have review founder LinkedIn website updates, prepare agenda and research notes, confirm logistics and calendar invites, conduct or support discovery conversations, document goals, challenges, next steps, update CRM with notes and opportunity details, assign follow tasks, schedule next touch, share meeting surround within 24 hours. With this documentation, it's easy for anybody to come in and actually work with any client of a certain client or any client at all, because definitely people move and will also move away from taxes. So once with this kind of documentation, people could actually come in and pick up from wherever anyone stops. So I have my AI automation workboard. So from my number 1 automation will be lead captured, to number 2, CRM record auto-created. Number 3 will be discovery meetings scheduled. Number 4 will be calendar invites. Number 5 will be AI meeting notes generated. Then number 6 will be action item assigned, automated follow-up reminder, weekly dashboard updated, then the founder reviews report. Then I will recommend AI like ChatGPT, Claude for writing and researching, Otter/Fireflies for meeting notes, Calendly for scheduling, HubSpot, Zoho for CRM, ClickUp, Asana projects for project management, Notion for documentation. There are other AIs to be also used, but these are what I am recommending presently. So I have the weekly dashboard of how Bavad is going to look like, day-to-day activities and weekly. So I have my revenue, operations, founder capacity, client success, wins for the week. That is, we must always like celebrate and know the milestones that we are, where we are, and what we want to celebrate, what we want to do in the next few weeks or months. We have our current challenges, key metrics. We have recommended actions. We also have in our reporting candidates, that is daily task summary. What did you do today? So that to inform that everyone is working and not just sitting and waiting for some expected kind of money. We have operations reports, revenue pipeline, client success reports, quarterly business review. Then for my 30 to 60 to 90 days roadmap, I have phase 1. So I divided them into 3 phases, which is phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. For phase 1, which is day 1 to 30, will be discovery and foundation. For phase 2, which is day 31 to 60, will be system implementation. Phase 3, which is day 61 to 90, will be optimization. Then I have the full picture with me here, which is the end-to-end capacity loop for Bavad. So we go from founder vision to business goals and ICP. Then we go to lead generation. Then we also go to lead qualification. Then we go to client onboarding. Then we go to CRM pipeline, We go to discovery meeting, proposal and engagement, client onboarding. Then we go from there to founder support delivery, weekly execution dashboard, founder decision making, improve founder capacity. So the constraint is not expertise or market position, it is growth in outspacing systems. So I have come to the end of my presentation, which is my closing insights. The value of a founder support is not completing more tasks, it is building the system that led founders focus on leadership, strategy, and long-term growth. This blueprint shows how a founder VSA contributes beyond administrative assistance by building the documentation, revenue, operation systems, operating calendars, and dashboard that a led founder through system rather than constant personal involvement. The next step, if I am to step into Baba today, is to do a 30-day audit that turns this plan into a working SOP library and a dashboard prototype. Thank you everyone for listening.
Please help me give her a round of applause. Because of conflict of interest, I will not be saying anything about this yet. So, Abayomi, can you take it up from?
Yeah, I think she did a very wonderful job. Particularly, I love the slides, and for some reason, I feel the theme, the color of it also does suit what I know with Bavad. But my interest basically is in where she talked about revenue and then talked about how to converting proposals to basically section 4. So I just want to ask questions with regards to that section 4. I think if I remember very well, I think I saw section 4. That's where she talked about revenue. That if you have, how do you realistically convert, or I don't know, how do you realistically put that into something that is implementable, particularly what your highlights were on revenue? Do you get that question?
Sorry, sir, please come again. I didn't quite understand that.
Abayomi.
Yes, section.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the question.
Yeah, there's a part you talked about revenue. Is that section 4?
This part?
Yes. New leads, qualified opportunities, proposal conversion, retention. Yes. So I just wanted like beyond just the proposal or what you diagnose, if we are going to implement that, like what are the things you feel should be in place, basically with regards to this revenue? Because I think that's just the part that really caught my own interest the most.
So for the revenue, I would say when generating new leads, and you could also see that I said for revenue, new leads, qualified opportunities, proposal conversion, and retention. So we'll go to reporting, because for me, I feel like when you are going into new leads, it starts from like the way my facilitator taught me. It starts from when you are on LinkedIn. Feels like you are overwhelmed and you are going to all this. So to implement this, I'll practically say that while doing all this, you are actually jotting them down and noting them that could this person actually generate what I actually need, and not just feel like this person fits, but does this person really understand, like does this person really fit into what I want like the service Bavad is going to give to that person. Did I answer that question, sir?
Yes, Vera, you're on track. At least it became simpler. I just wanted to understand what you meant by that, and yeah, the answer was it.
So by that way, revenue will be easier to generate, because sometimes when you're on LinkedIn, you see a lot of people, you see a lot of them, they like, it's when you get to like have conversation with some of them, you notice that that is not actually what they really wanted. That there is a lot to it. Like the conversation I had with a founder, which was called Dembit, actually had to start diagnosing his problem. But when I looked at his problem, it was actually a different thing entirely. So you might not know if you really do not look into them. And while at it, you don't just pick up a random, so that you don't actually have leads that actually like they won't convert eventually. So that's what I feel like.
Right, thank you very much. You did expatiated on that, and I feel overall you did well. So I think I'll leave it to Florence now. But then kudos to you for this well thought out analysis and proposal.
Thank you very much, sir.
But Mr. Barrister Bayami of Flexible Legal, please, how can I sue one of my students? I would like to make a legal complaint, sir.
Sure, please.
I would like to make a legal complaint, sir. Whoa, audacity. This is the definition of audacity. How dare you? But do you know what? I like this, Adiola. Like, I almost had to force myself to listen because I just kept laughing. Like, if there's one person I knew was going to do that, I knew it was you were going to do that. Mm, that was not revealed by the Spirit of God. That was revealed by your patterns.
It
I knew
was
you were going to do
Deborah.
that.
Oh, it was Deborah. It was
It
Debbie.
was,
I sat down
it
on my
was,
own. I was like, this cow's class, I don't understand. She was like, hey, you can use any business like that. But and I said, since that was what I've been using from the beginning of the class. So why not put it to test? So that was how I started. Although it was not an easy task for me, because honestly, you can see by the ending, like the research I had to do, because Bavad was like, honestly, it's already like a part, like I won't say so. God is the 100% perfect person, because the website itself was looking perfect. Like I was like, what am I diagnosing? So that's why I had to use the English business, so that I'm gonna shoot myself at the leg and use. Hey, I know my facilitator. I was thinking you were going to attack me, self, because
hmm,
to, to
I can't
diagnose
attack
your
you.
that work, it will.
Hey, Jesus is Lord. Oh God, amazing. I don't even know where to start from, but I like the fact that you did this, like away from the sentiment, because I'm going to be biased. I'm trying not to be biased. I'm really trying not to be biased. That's like what I told Matthew. When you're working with your own business, it's difficult. You have, especially the fact that especially the fact I'm teaching you this. So now you're holding the mirror and I taught you how to hold back to me. But that is good because it would also reveal, right, expose my own blind spots. And that's exactly what you did. So now, I don't know if I'm supposed to give you my evaluation or I'm supposed to talk about Harvard or I'm supposed to be an instructor or I'm supposed to be a business person. You just squeeze me inside like sardine. What am I supposed to do right now? Ah, I do allow me if I did.
10
If I see
minutes,
you start
good.
running
Just
from
10
me,
minutes. Let me know where I did my mistake.
I'll start running from you. If I see I'll start running from you. But everyone can come to a conclusion that this was an excellent work done. It's not even just about the statistics of the presentation, which I love, but it's I've it's I will need to go back to your presentation and really, really, as in dissect it and stop sharing my screen and really dissect it because I need to learn from this. Like away from me being a facilitator, away from me being in the middle of this, I need to go sit down and really learn this and see what are the blind spots that I can work on. There are some things that you didn't get right, but I'm not going to talk about that on this call because I'm very sure that if every businesses were on the call, they would have their objections. So this is not about objections. So I'm gonna score this, I'm gonna evaluate this based on the same metrics that I've been using for everyone. So absolutely, please can you give her a round of applause? Please, everyone, can you give Adiola a round of applause? A round of applause, one for her audacity. Another round of applause because she did a work well done. And absolutely, apart from the fact that Dila, I know you were trying to be on time. You still went over time anyways, but you need to calm down when you're presenting. Actually, with the fact that you're presenting with full audacity, you need to calm down and let the message land. Okay? You don't need to rush through the process. That is the first thing I'm gonna say is you need to calm down when you're doing a present. I do, in fact, at this point, you have a tendency of being a management consultant with what you've done, and with the time no reacher exactly, and the way the analysis that you did, you do have tendencies of really going into management consulting, which I like. So, which
Money they come.
But away from that, executive summary, absolutely on point. I could not even write. That's how bad it is. Like you can see my notes here. Adiola Onifa did nothing. Where is it? See your name here. I could do nothing. I could not even write. This person puts me on hot seat. But away from that, I'll tell you that based on what I've heard, your executive summary was fine, was apt. Okay. The blueprint, you didn't even approach this as an assignment. You approached this as a consultant. You approached this as a consultant. Let's please, after this call, let's talk on what we are going to do next. You researched the business. When you spoke to me, Diola, you were talking to me generically. You did not tell me it was for assignment, which is something I
Yeah.
like that it was not, you didn't even tell me that it was for assignment. You spoke to me generically. And that day I could remember very clearly. I was just on the call smiling because I'm like, okay, how are we doing further discovery for me? But I like the fact that you didn't even take my words. It wasn't my words that you translated. You took the insights in the conversation you translated. And that was absolutely a great job. Well done. And reviewing the company positioning, just like you also said, it could be a little bit difficult for you because now you also have an attachment with the company, just like what I said to Matthew. So you have to use an eagle eye to be able to pick up really details. And you try, though you have some generic things that you just add to heart, which I know, which were not true. Miss, it's fine, Jared. Don't worry.
I actually
Which
cited I cited that in my material because some of them were not true. Yeah, I cited it in my material.
which were
It's
not
not
true, but
not put on
you
my
made
notes.
assumptions at that point. So one thing about being a consultant is even if you cannot get enough information, you don't make assumptions. You even if it's just one information you have, research deeply into that one information without making on like what's this word? On based on true assumptions, because then it could reduce credibility when you're talking with your client. You can just hear something like, oh, this person doesn't know what it's saying, or this person does not know about my business. This is not true. So you don't want to have that issue. So it's better for you to just stick with the minimal truth, than making unnecessary assumptions. So that's one thing. Assumptions when I mean assumptions, because I saw Marcus say zero assumptions, I'll be talking more towards untrue hypotheses. Okay. I'll be talking more towards untrue hypotheses, because in business, we'll still make assumptions based on the category of the business, the industry. There are certain generic assumptions that could be made. Oh, we are in this industry, based on this industry, these are certain things that could be happening, but it might not be true for every business. So even if you made assumptions, you need to state it that they are assumptions, not facts, not truth. So that is one thing that, let me just clarify that, so you won't think making assumptions is bad. Making assumptions is part of the things. It's just that it needs to be tested. Scientifically, it's the same way business is. Business is still science, so it needs to be tested. So that is one thing I was going to say. And your founder operating system, I will go back and I think it's something I'm going to adapt in the next cohort. I love the founder operating system. So absolutely great job to that. So now strength. Oh, Jesus. Strength. I didn't write anything about name. This is all. Your presentation was executive level thinking. I think everybody can attest to that. That was very glaring. It even got to the part that I'm like, oh, Dila, you might need to mute yourself.
I'm listening to something. I cannot go. Hello, pa, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ bá mi pa ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
Dila, you need to mute yourself. You're on the call. You're muted. Okay. Where did I stop? Oh, listen. Yeah. So you're thinking you had an executive level thinking, which I believe everyone can say the same thing, not only just the presentation of the slides, but even in the articulations of the word, it could show that you didn't just sit down and analyze a company, you established methodology. And that was absolutely great. You studied the business, you studied the founder, you spoke with the founder, you drew insight from the founder, or you even went as far as reviewing public positioning. And that is exactly how you can create or establish credibility. So absolutely great job with that. Then you did, like I mentioned, you have a potential of really going into consulting. And I think I believe I'm not just saying this to you. And it's really making me think about how much can I pour into you to help you grow. That's what my brain is really thinking about now. How much can I pour into you to help you grow? How much can I pour into you to help you grow? How much can I replicate my system thinking in you? That's what is coming to my brain right now. Then you did the business diagnosis. Oh my God. You were able to do pattern connections excellently well. And then you moved it towards system thinking. You move it towards. Please, do I need to say more about Adiola? I don't know. Anybody else? What else do you want to say? It's really, she just put me in a very difficult spot, thinking more about how I want to score and how I want to implement. Then the other thing you did was, everybody can agree that you did a founder discovery. You spoke with me. You didn't even let me know that it was for assignment. You spoke with me because you were doing a founder discovery, and that was excellent. You understood the mission, you understood the vision, you understood the positioning. You didn't really get our revenue stream well, which is why I'm not surprised that Brian was asking you more about revenue. You didn't get that well. You were vague and ambiguous about that. But I know that with further clarity, you could get that. But you even went further to understand our essence. Casa. This guy did me bad thing. Everybody can agree that Della is a bad girl. Everybody can agree that she's a bad girl. So there was one thing I said when I was in a conversation with you. If I can remember it in structure that was properly, is you don't prescribe before diagnosing, because in the call you were diagnosing before prescribing, and you took that correction, and now you're telling me that I can definitely diagnose well before prescribing. So that was a great improvement. That's like a 10/10. In fact, everything is almost like a 10. Then the system just Jesus Lord. The system designs that you designed is one of the strongest things that I saw in your presentation. I haven't, I reviewed everybody else's presentation. I intentionally did not, I intentionally, because I knew that if I open that slide, it's Baba that will see. And I did, it is Baba that, Jesus is Lord. But you see, the operating you and Messi, this is a pattern between you and Messi. The founder operating system, you guys need to internalize that and make it a very core selling point, because you understand that. And this is well. Okay. Then there's also something I saw is you have a high systemic maturity in your approach, which is the way you moved from even understanding the Bavard mission to the discovery to the capacity assessment itself, and then moving down to those dashboardings and the rest of things. And you use Miro for some of those things, which is good. I'm glad that you utilize that too. And then mapping everything out to show what's the possible business outcome. Please, can you give Adela a round of applause again? Please give Adela a round of applause. I'm looking for the round of applause. Good job. So now, you did a lot of things right. Very mature in your approach. Very great job to you. And now, some of the things that I would then see, like they were very glaring, even though I wasn't able to write notes, I really struggled with truly listening as a founder and as an instructor. But in the discovery questions or your discovery process, now you're making me talk more in two sides because I have the knowledge of two conversations, the discovery and now your assessment here. But you didn't really demonstrate the the discovery insights in your conversation. And what did I mean? Like what did I mean by that? So for instance, now I probably have told you this during the discovery, like what processes actually break down often. What information did you gather from that? That is something that you could create solutions around and implement it in the blueprint. I didn't see that. And which actually still shows for the level, because it's you that's making me now do this now, which actually, because I wouldn't actually be even expecting that based on your consulting maturity that you are hard now, but because you are exhibiting the high level, making me increase the bar to the high level. But yes, you interviewed the founder, but you didn't really put together the implementation or the conversation in a put together insight that can then translate to a true recommendation, which is why you did include some assumptions that were not true. Then the same thing with what I told, Rosemary, Deborah, prioritization. Everything also was looking equally important. The question should be if Bavard could implement one thing, like one thing this month in the next 30 days, what would it be? Would it be the dashboarding? Would it be CRM? We have CRM. Would it be SOP? We have SOP. We have SOP. So what exactly? Would it be meeting cadence? Like we have those things. So exactly what exactly do you, so this is why it's a little bit difficult. Like those your assumptions. Funnel dashboard, we definitely do not have funnel dashboard. I actually do have a funnel dashboard. Actually do have. I have a CEO dashboard that gives me visibility into everything. So what exactly do you want us to implement? I'm talking like Bava. I'm not talking inspector anymore. But that is one of the things that and Yomi did well to show it to me clearly that if there is one thing that I would really want to focus on, it's going to be more towards our even not visibility, it's going to be more towards our revenue generation that will help with our expansion. Because Florence has multiple functions, then which means money is going in multiple directions. So that is why he has the revenue question, because that will be the biggest thing, which means that our not lead research, because we have our high CP fully defined, we have our positioning well defined, we have our so I love the fact that you included thought leadership into our pipeline because it's one of our hard to choose and marketing strategy. So it will be more towards let me see if I can well articulate this, is we're increasing revenue flow, our revenue flow. And most times increasing our cash flow, present cash flow, not just revenue, but cash flow, because we definitely have pipelines that of work, because we do more towards government consulting and the rest of things, our sales cycle is longer. Unlike other businesses that deal directly with, maybe it's D2C or or business or B2C. You understand that? So they have a shorter sales cycle, which increases their cash flow. So that would just be, I've exposed our weakness to the entire team and to the entire world right now. So that would be one of the biggest thing that we'll be focusing on the next quarter, which is where you missed the point. But away from that,
Spotted,
then
sorry.
financial impact. Yeah, you also very good with the operational impact, just like almost everyone of you except Messi. Messi is very good with the financial side of things. And you also didn't, I think you also didn't do the same thing. Like, how can all this, you really tying this to how it's going to help increase, revenue or cash? Ours will be more of cash flow, not really of revenue, because we do have the pipeline. But then if you called yourself a founder support VSA, you also didn't tie it down to how much hours, for instance, can you help me recover or me? I'm not the only founder of Bava. That's one thing people don't know. Recover in the business. And you also missed out on the clientele. And another biggest pain would be more towards what's this thing called again? Proposal conversion. Yes, we do submit a lot of proposals, but are we really doing a good job in tracking our conversion rate? So those are some of the things that you definitely could help out, with the with you being a founder support VSA. Then I've mentioned this, your presentation is absolutely the slides are good, but you don't need to read through your slides. you need to get the idea in each of the slide, and you talk out the insights in the slide. And majority of you are still reading slides. Majority of you are still reading slides, but that's something that can be worked on. So instead of you walking through the slides, you could walk through the story. So that's where storytelling is really going to be more good for you. So be more conversational rather than just reading it through. You may have asked you questions, so I'm not going to ask you another question, but I'm going to ask your teammates if they have questions for you. Anybody have questions for Dila? Okay, I think there's no question. So as you continue to grow, Dila, focus on strengthening your discovery methodology, uh, your prioritizations, actually when you're giving recommendations. So if you have 6 recommendations, and this is to everyone, if you have 6 recommendations, pick out the 3 highest and give that. We can start with those 3 out of, out of 10, out of 6, out of 5, out of 5, you could even say we'll start with this 2, out of 3, we'll pick 1. And that's the way to prioritize recommendations. Then also, when you're talking with any founder, ensure that you're tying into not just business impact, you're also tying into financial impact, because at the end of the day, everybody needs to know how is this going to help me make more money. And well, consultants or senior consultants don't just recommend systems, okay? They explain which systems, because you did a lot of like recommending systems, ChatGPT, blah, 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 blah. I was like, we have internal systems that cover every other thing, everything on that list. But you don't know because you don't have a split into that, which is why we don't make assumptions. But if you're recommending system, you should at least be able to recommend which system comes first. Ask questions about your system so that you're getting it right, and how it's also going to help them improve, maybe it's revenue, maybe it's profitability, or maybe it's even founder capacity. So I think this refinement would really help you move towards being I don't even know if it's consultant you want to be even growth operations professional. Whatever it is, I believe it's really going to help you becoming a trusted business consultant. Please, oh, please help me clap for her again. Thank you for demonstrating this high level. In fact, it's almost an executive level of thinking at this time. And I really want to see this. I want to see this quality. I've been seeing very great quality for everyone. And each is like you guys are climbing a step. Each person is presenting, you're increasing the bar. You're increasing the bar. But great job, Adela. Great job. Please, I think we should all take a
Thank
tea
you, ma.
break.
Thank you very much, ma. Thanks for your
Please, let's
question.
take a tea break, because how many persons remain? We have Onye and wait though, it's already 5:03. I don't think we can finish this today. Justina, Onye, and Olichi, do you still want us to continue with this, or should we schedule another time and Dorcas, or should we schedule another time for? Yeah, it's past 11. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about. Should we schedule another time? Because I was expecting that I would just do like 10 minutes, 10 minutes, everyone. And the last did not, she tried to stay on time, but she missed it by 2 minutes. But so Justina, Dorcas, Onye, and Oluchi, please let me know. Do you want us to continue? Or do you want us to schedule another time to complete this? Even I even what's his name too? Chukwuemeka. We cannot finish this today. So you guys should talk. Yeah. Yeah. Justina, Oluchi, Onye, you need to tell me in complete sentences, not just yes or no, because I don't know what yes or no is going to be all about. Justina, Onye, Emeka, Dorcas. we need to, if we're rescheduling, we need to pick a date. Okay, let me see. Justina said she would like to present us, which is true. Justina, okay, we'll take just Justina today. Then every other person will reschedule them for Dorcas. What about, I haven't heard from Dorcas. Dorcas, we have 5 more. Exactly, it's a lot. Dorcas, Justina, Onye, Chukwuemeka, and Oluchi. Okay, let's reschedule them. Okay. Oh, I miss lecturing. Okay. On. What they had not to crack. Okay, so we're going to reschedule. I think that's best for us to do at this time. It's 5:06 my time, which is well, I'm happy to present to you all that everyone who has presented so far, you all did a great job. You all did a great job. Yeah. Deborah blew us away. Messi presentation was absolutely apt. Matthew and Rosemary, you guys did a great job. In fact, I don't know what to say. So that was like 5 persons. That was 5 persons. Then Diola just came and scattered. That one does destroy the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we had 5 persons that presented today. So what we'll do is we'll reschedule everybody out, including just that wants to present today. Unfortunately, we'll reschedule everyone. So next week we would have I said next week. When would you want to get, yes? When, let me check my calendar because that's my phone. Oh my God. Iyekon is watching all of you live. Very funny. Wow. I can't laugh. Okay, message is live. Oh my God. Okay. Mm, I check my calendar. Does Thursday, so we can pick any time between Thursday, Friday, or even Saturday. Yes, please. It's okay. Dorcas, we'll communicate the dates to you. It's okay. Let's pick between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you can the remaining 5 people, you can work on this together. But I would also like every other person to be in the meeting if it works for you. I'll send those who have presented, you did absolutely great job. So you definitely get your certificate. But for others, I will not send a certificate until everybody is done. But for others, please tell us the date and every other person that has presented, feel free to join because I'm very sure that you will still learn one or two things in this. Okay. So let me know all this. Let me know when so that we can then time it down. And also you can let me know the time that would work for you all. And it would be best for you to quickly communicate that to me because my calendars are unpredictable. So I can just look up the time. Okay. Great job, everybody. Great job, great job. Clap for yourself. You did absolutely for everyone who have presented today. You did absolutely great. I'm so proud of you. Friday. Okay, everyone is I've seen 2 Fridays. You did absolutely great job. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I am absolutely proud of you. Great job. Great job. Great job. Awesome. Okay, so I would stay behind if anyone has anything else to say. Or the person that decided to throw shade at me. Mm. We will see. But that's just a joke anyways. But let's just see. I'll stay behind the call in case anyone has questions or concerns or wants to say anything. And we'll see how that goes. But congratulations to our first set of I am now smiling. But first set of Jesus is Lord. Yeah. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm proud. I'm proud though. I'm proud. I'm proud. This is like a very proud moment for me. So that's a very good one. I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy. You hold it absolutely well. As in this time around, it's no longer conditional. It's like true. We are graduates. The past it's now like almost 8 weeks that we've been joining this together. So I'm proud. In fact, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Sorry. When you graduate on Friday or whenever you guys choose. Exactly. July 13 graduating set. If I even this, what's them your pictures? Like I've done post. July 13 graduating set. You did well. You did well. You did well. You did well. Oh my God. Just now you have not graduated. There is conditional that you had. Conditional. You need to remove the condition from your graduation. Exactly. Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? Oh my gosh. That was very funny. Oh, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Oh, good. And this, please, you all should tell your friends and family. You can see the value that you're getting from this. This is not something you should hide in your table or under your bed. This is something you should tell people about so they can register. FM7. So they can register. You're the first ambassador. You should be an ambassador to this program. To this program. To this program. Mhm. Okay, well, if you don't want to go, bye bye. I want to wait behind for people that may have questions. Good night. Good night, Onye. Good night, Adela. Good night, Matthew. Uh, at least, no, no, you cannot edit it. I'm not gonna give that privilege for edit. No editing. No editing because by the time I compare the previous with the new, I'll just see a difference like no editing. You present it like that. You can edit your thoughts, you can edit your articulations. Don't edit the slide. Don't worry. Your certificate will carry the right name, so don't worry. The certificate will carry your registration name. So don't worry. Is it Diola's fault now? Diola, did she work on your slides for you? How is it her fault? She broke the she, Diola broke the table. She broke the table. I did. She broke the table. Don't worry. When you do your own presentation, she has set the standard. That's good. I love students who do that. Do your own presentation now, so you two can break the table. Don't worry. Feel free to break the table. By that time, it's going to be a new set of table. Maybe the evaluation scores are the same. It's not different. So feel free to break the table at your time. So everyone should even be breaking, you be shattering the tables. Because that's what I want. Like shatter the table. That way I can have full confidence that yes. Ah, I still need to schedule Sakura's meeting. I think I was in moments. Pleasure. Okay, no problem. No problem, dear. Good night. Good night, Olichi.
No, I was talking to Olushi. I'm going to Olushi's DM, not your DM.
Oh, okay. No problem. I think Deborah sent me a message. She's currently doing something. Hmm. Super Morris. Okay, well, let you have a great one.